This is Miss Holly coming to you with the fourth installment of the reading of One Well, the Story of Water on Earth, written by Rochelle Strauss and published by Kids Can Press. Today is about people at the well. Since the beginning of time, people have depended on water for drinking, for food, for bathing, and for watering their crops. Water has always provided a highway to move people and products from place to place. As cities and societies grow, so does their need for water. Today, water is essential in our homes, in industry, and in agriculture. At home, we use water for cleaning, cooking, drinking, flushing toilets, and for bathing. But homes account for only 10% of all the fresh water used. About 21% of the water we use goes to make everything from computers to cars. Water is used in hydroelectric plants to generate electricity and in petroleum plants to make gas. In factories, water is used to heat things up or cool things down and to wash away waste. Water vapor, which is steam, even runs machinery. Water is also an ingredient in many products such as lotions, shampoos, chemicals, and drinks. The remaining 69% of the fresh water we use goes into agriculture. Farms use huge amounts of water for crops and livestock. Look around. Almost everything you see was made using water. It took about 34 gallons of water to make your bicycle. Water was used to grow and make the food you eat and the clothes you wear. Water was even used to make the paper for this book and the ink used to print the words. It takes about 49 gallons of water to produce just one glass of milk. Oh my goodness. And about 38,000 gallons of water was needed to make your car. A lot of water is required to produce the food you eat. Approximately 1,300 gallons of water is needed just to make one fast food hamburger, fries, and soda. Thirsty? People drink an average of 1 gallon of water a day. In your lifetime, you will drink the equivalent of a backyard swimming pool full of water. This next chapter is called Fresh Water in the Well. Though we live on a watery planet, not all of the water can be used to meet our needs. That's because we humans and many other species depend on fresh water, and supplies of fresh water are limited. Most of the water on Earth is salt water, almost 97%. Only 3% is fresh water. If a tanker truck filled with water represented all the water on the Earth, then the water used to fill a large bathtub would represent all of the planet's fresh water. But most of the fresh water, we learned this earlier, over 99% is frozen in ice caps and glaciers, trapped deep underwater or in the atmosphere, so we can't use it. How much fresh water is available to us? Remember that bathtub? Imagine filling 9 cans from it. This represents all the fresh water we can use. While there is a lot of water on the planet, we have access to less than 1% of it. And if you remember Mr. Sean's lesson where he flicked the water off of the spoon, that's all the water available to us. This chapter is called Access to the Well. Some families are lucky. They can turn on the tap for drinking water, to fill a bathtub, wash their car, or water their garden. But other families around the world are less fortunate. 1 billion people, which is almost 16% of the Earth's population, have to walk more than 15 minutes to get water. There they gather water for the day. Just a few jugs, barely enough for drinking, cooking, and cleaning. Other families don't have access to enough water to meet even those basic human needs. While the amount of water on Earth is always the same, the distribution of water across the world isn't. Huge differences in rainfall can happen from country to country, and even within the same country. Less rainfall means less water available in lakes, rivers, and aquifers. Sometimes there isn't even enough water where it's needed the most. Because water is not evenly distributed across the globe, nearly 1/5 of the world's population does not have enough water. Many of these people live in Africa and Asia. So if you had to go carry water to be able to use, you would have to carry about 22 pounds of water to equal 1 bucket from a well to your house every day. So today, Mr. Sean and I are going to talk to you about the average daily use of people throughout the United States, or throughout the world, the United States, and talk all the way about Ethiopia. So stay with us and we'll show you some buckets of water. Hi, Mr. Sean. Why we got all these buckets laid out here?
Well, these buckets are here to represent how much water the average American uses every day. So right here with the amount of water that can fit in these buckets, it's about 140 gallons. So that's a lot of water that Americans use every day, and that's for brushing teeth, drinking water, recreation, cooking, cleaning, you name it, whatever you use water for.
Hey, how many buckets a day do people who live in Russia use?
Well, they conserve water a little bit better than we do. So in order to accurately show that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove about half of these buckets. And so we're left with about this many gallons of water that the average Russian uses.
That's about 55 gallons.
Yeah.
Huh, how about Poland?
Well, Poland is even more water conscious than we are. So in order to show you that one, I gotta, again, remove about half these buckets here. And we're left with Poland's water usage right here.
Which is about?
About 25 gallons.
25 gallons. Okay,
per person per day.
Per person per day. How about India?
Uses on average, well, let me break this up here. Let's take about 2 to 3 of these buckets away. So,
wow.
India, now this is probably not by choice that they're only using this much water, but significantly less water than any other place so far.
All right, Mr. Sean, how about Nepal?
Well, got to remove these guys, and what we're left with is about this much water.
And that would be for about Nepal, Haiti, and Ethiopia.
Yeah, this much water for one person per day versus our 140 gallons that we use a day.
And so that right there represents about 2 gallons of water per day that people in other countries would use.
Pretty crazy, huh?
It is. We should
right.
definitely conserve our water.
Again, folks, yeah, just remember, our water is cycled throughout, and we only have one source of water, so let's keep it clean and let's conserve it.